Attorney General Eric Holder hadn't been in office very long before making his first controversial comment about race. Listen to this.
Though this nation has proudly thought of itself as a ethnic melting pot, in things racial, we have always been, and we, I believe, continue to be, in too many ways, essentially a nation of cowards.
Okay, back in 2009, his so-called nation of cowards speech. Well, nearly 5 years later, Holder is not only doubling down on that statement, but also blaming any opposition to him and the president on race.
I wouldn't walk away from that speech. There's a certain level of vehemence, it seems to me, that's directed at me, directed at the president. There's a certain racial component to this for some people. I don't think this is the thing, is a main driver, but for some, there's a racial animus.
So, does the Attorney General have a point, or is he just playing the race card? Here for a fair and balanced debate are Fox News contributor David Webb and Democratic strategist Brian Benjamin. Good morning to both of you.
Morning, Steve.
All right, Brian, does he have a point?
Of course he does. I mean, if you look at from 2008 to 2012, the amount of conservative Republicans who felt that Obama was a Muslim doubled. I mean, I think when you look at our country, we just have had an issue dealing with this race conversation. No one wants to talk about it. Sometimes these movies come out and no one wants to really say, well, how do we truly feel? And that has a real impact on our politics, and it's having an impact on this as well.
But if this were a racist nation, would Barack Obama have been elected president?
I don't believe anyone believes that we are a racist nation. I think that there are elements, which is what he's pointed to, of folks on the conservative right who have racist tendencies. Taking our country back and some of these language. Who are you taking your country back from?
David?
Let me take a breath for a moment, because the garbage that just came out of Brian's mouth is one of the reasons we're having an irrelevant conversation. There are racists in the world. There are racists in America. They're the outliers outside of Democrat or Republicans. The hate that's thrown at me on a daily basis, then I should call every liberal out there or every progressive who throws it at me Uncle Tom, House Negro, and all those other things. Then all Democrats are racist. That's not the point. Eric Holder's the true coward here.
Okay, why?
Because I'll explain.
Okay, please.
When our nation, who we are as a nation, we know we're not racist. Remember what your parents thought you know who you are? This country is not racist. You said Barack Obama was elected. Blacks are 12% of the population in this country. Clearly, somebody voted for Obama, not all the blacks, even though predominantly they did.
That's correct.
They are as irrelevant as the NAACP, Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, and the others, because Eric Holder needs to play the race card and continue to play it rather than dealing with the real issues in this country. The outliers aside, and they exist.
On both sides.
The objections to Obama are on policy.
That's not
my objection. I was never vested in his color.
Okay.
So my objection to him is on his policy, and the megaphone of the Attorney General magnifies it 1,000 times for his base. But I'm telling you, to most Americans, ignore this. Ignore this attempt to take us into this.
But it's hard to ignore when it's coming from the president and from the Attorney General.
The only point that the Attorney General was making, I just want to underscore this, was that, listen, there is some element of that out there, and we need to deal with it, and we need to talk about it.
Well, we all like to breathe clean air, and we breathe oxygen. Those are facts. That's pretty much what he's saying. The problem is you just tried to pin it on conservatives, and I'll tell you for a fact, the amount of hate that Deneen Borelli, myself, other blacks who are not liberals get,
of course,
would paint Eric Holder's comment on liberals. I'm not even going to give
towards your policies and to what you believe in, not based on you being black.
Yes, it is. I'm not going to give him the credit. He doesn't deserve it, and if you back it up, then you don't deserve the credit either for that discussion.
All right, we're going to have to end it right there. A spirited debate. Who needs coffee today? David Webb and Brian Benjamin. Thank you very much.
Well, I do like my coffee black. Is that racist?
That's fine.
I put cream in my coffee.
Okay.